And now, Sylvie, we want to talk about college life in general in your country or in Ottawa in particular. Can you tell us about what kind of college life or lives students lead there?
Absolutely. Thank you, Takeshi. So in Canada, we have over 95, almost over 100, I would say, universities, colleges. Again, universities are comprehensive four-year program universities, and college are more towards professional programs for 2 years, a year, 2 years, and 3 years, depending on what they're offering. In Ottawa, particularly, we are talking about two big universities. I know that there is a smaller one, and then let me just explain that to you. I think, Takeshi, you're going to share right under your video the detail of the different universities.
Sure.
But the two big ones that are worth talking about are University of Ottawa and Carlton University. I think University of Ottawa actually ranks pretty high worldwide in a sense that it's a comprehensive university with over 10 different faculties. It has a medical school, and usually universities that have a medical school is has a more heavier presence and then a better reputation than the ones that do not hold a medical school. So University of Ottawa is my alma mater, so of course I will speak about it fondly. I have actually spent 10 years in it and did my 4 diplomas in it. I would say that it's one of the only bilingual university in North America of that size. What does it mean? And again, bilingual here in Canada means French and English. It means that once you're in a program, unless the program prescribes you to take only your classes in one language, you're allowed to take some elective in the other language and vice versa. You're allowed to present your work in the other language. And that is very interesting for people who are learning the other language as a second official language. Now, how it works here, because we have two big universities cohabitating in the same city, we have programs that are actually being shared. So one big shared program is the engineering program from the School of Information Technology and Engineering. So Carleton and University of Ottawa is sharing the site, which is the School of Technology and Engineering. So this allows the student to be able to navigate through the two different campuses and the two different university. Now in Canada, what is interesting for any student who is interested in coming here to spend a year or two, you'll know that we work in terms, and we call the fall term, the winter term, and the summer term, or spring and summer term. So the most important 2 terms are the fall and winter terms. So we are starting the schooling in September, and we're ending in December before the Christmas break, about 2 to 3 weeks. And then we restart in January for the winter term, and then we end in the end of April. For people who are interested in, let's say, making sure that they collect their credit the quickest possible, they can take some courses during the spring and the summer term. So that is the May
intensive course, kind of.
I'm sorry, come again?
Intensive course, that is?
They can be, so it all depends on program. So if you are in a very competitive program, they can be intensive course. Or otherwise, they can be courses that are very popular that people tend to take during those times, so they can fill it up, so they can go back to the normal courses during the, what we call the more stable term. So the most stable term of September to December, which is called the fall or autumn term. And then the January to April, which is called the winter term. Now they are, if you as an international student, you are looking at coming here to have the best of experience, there are 2 ways of experiencing your college life in Canada. There is the what we call the full-blown one, where you come in, you you integrate into a program, and then you select a dorm, a room, and you spend your life on campus. So on-campus life, although Carlton and University of Ottawa are completely embedded in the city. So they are not what we call town campuses that is outside of the big city. They are completely integrated into the center of the city. Ottawa U specifically is in the heart of the city. So the campuses and everything is at walking distance to the most popular outings of Ottawa, and the most diverse in restaurant and in any kind of activities that you would like to do. So living on campus gives you what we call a very, very different insight of what life can be than if you were to, let's say, rent an apartment and live with a couple other friends in the city somewhere else versus the campus. Then you'll enter a little bit more what we call a calmer and more rest type of life, because the city of Ottawa, although it's very vibrant and diverse, it's a dormant city. And what does that mean? We have about 75 to 80% of the public servant of the entire country that live in the Ottawa region, Ottawa, Gatineau, and then the greater Ottawa area. This is the heart of the public service. So people who live here are public servant. So the city is extremely, extremely calm and extremely, I would say, respectful. People who are very respectful in their traffic, respectful as just general way of being in their lives. So that actually makes your life as a student a very calm and not necessarily as, I would say, busy as if you were, let's say, spending the whole semester in Montreal or in Toronto, which actually has a much different type of experience.
So did you say most students choose to live in campus in dormitories? That's what you said.
It all depends. So prior to COVID, of course, yes. Now that COVID happens, the rules have changed a little bit, and then the campus are offering half and half. So you have online courses, and then you also have in-person courses. But I would say that generally speaking, because we're human beings and we are people who are, before all, social, it's very, very important for us to have that experience. So if you are an international student and you don't live on campus, then you are losing a lot of that, I would say, learning that is a little bit what we call peripheral to your academic luggage. So you do have academic courses where you have to learn, but then you have all those things that are surrounding the academic courses that shapes your personality and shapes your learning, which is, I would say, as important or even more important.
Yeah, that's interesting.